Okay, I made a video a couple days ago jokingly teasing a friend of mine. And if you guys, I guess, maybe took it serious or put more thought in it than really needs to be done. It was just a video. It was for the hell of it. I put a 10th gauge on this block. Now, I normally don't hone my engines with the 10th gauge. My 10th gauges are primarily for bearing clearance and rod and main fitting. Cylinder walls, getting them below a tenth or two is great, but it's kind of a waste of time. I feel that if you're anything under a half a thousandths, you're pretty much good. This business, everybody wants perfect. The reality of it is you never really know what perfect is on a cylinder bore. We use these deck plates to simulate what the cylinder head would be on the engine, but this is static. It's not running, it's not making combustion heat. A lot of variables, fire ring on the head gasket, torque specs, all of this is going to change the value of the cylinder bore. We can only hope to simulate some of that using a deck plate. Now, getting back to the size of the bores and how much round and run out there is in these, I use diamonds all the way up to my finish. And then I use a vitrified stone. That's the way I'm doing it now. I feel comfortable doing it this way. So let's revisit this block. I've had a few guys say, well, one way it looks pretty good, but you're not checking it the other way across the bore. Basically we're checking from 12 to 6 and 9 to 3. I didn't do 9 to 3 if you guys asked me how much out of round, how much taper. Well, just to let a few people know that maybe don't understand this, is the rings where they ride, you want that as true as it can be. The rings do not ride the whole entire length of the bore. It's physically impossible. So down at the farthest part of the bore, sometimes that hones differently, and the reason why is because some blocks have more iron down there, some blocks have less iron down there, and depending on how much honing pressure and how much dwell time is going to dictate how far off it is. This is an FE block. I don't do a lot of FEs, but I went through the effort to get the deck plate for the FE because I've done so many blocks now that I want them when they leave here to be as perfect as I can make them within the amount of time that I put on these blocks. I might spend a little more time than others, I may not. So let's check this block again and go over a few things. This is at the top of the bore. Okay, that's 1/10 of 1/1000th of an inch. Okay. This one's a little bit bigger. But there's no taper in the walls where the rings ride. And I mean, honestly, you don't want any if you can avoid it. Now this one says it's 3, but there's no taper. I can't really hold the phone and take video too, but it's challenging, but I'm trying. And I'm not going to do them all. I mean, somebody say, well, you're not going to do the last one because the last one's the worst one. Well, okay, we'll do the last one, I guess, but I'm not going to do them all. My back hurts too much today to be leaning over this stupid block. So, okay, here we go. CNC honing machine, what? How much better are we going to get? I don't have a CNC honing machine. You know, they're very expensive, and if you got to work, great. Okay, this is the simple AN head. There's nothing on this machine that tells you how many thousandths. That is all done by hand and by verifying with the dial bore gauge. Nothing else. There's no electronics. There's no aid assistance on stroking. This is plain old out of my head and running it up and down with my arm. So I hope that straightens out a few things, and if it don't, well, it don't. Like I said, the first video was just for the hell of it. And I guess that's it.